Hulk Hogan is sponsoring a race car 2311 court case update. Denny Hamlin back in the black and purple, and Casey Mears is back. Let's get into it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, first things first, Hulk Hogan is going to sponsor a race car. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is welcoming a Real American sponsor this weekend at Las Vegas. Co-founded by WWE legend Hulk Hogan, Real American Beer is proudly American-owned and American-made premium light beer that delivers a crisp, clean, crushable taste and 4.2% alcohol above volume, 110 calories, 4 grams of carbs, now available in 23 states and counting. RAB is on a mission to bring people together one beer at a time. Learn more at realamericanbeer.com or therealamerican.com and follow along on Instagram, Facebook, and X. The Hayek press release continued on, saying Real American Beer belongs at the track, brother, said Hulk Hogan, co-founder of Real American Beer, NASCAR, and Real American Beer, two American institutions built on grit, passion, and community. This weekend, we're rolling into Las Vegas Motor Speedway with number 47, ready to run wild. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. knows what it means to push the limit, and there's no better place for Real American Beer than Las Vegas. Hulk's not the only one fired up for the weekend's race at Las Vegas. Jimmy Hart, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, will be at the track, repping Real American Beer with megaphone in hand and bringing his legendary energy to rev up Stenhouse and the number 47 Hayek Motorsports crew. So there you go, cultural icon of the 80s, Hulk Hogan, got a beer company. Not only that, but he's bringing Jimmy Hart, his valet, essentially manager, whatever you want to call it, the guy that walked him out to the ring for the biggest moments in his career for the most part. So really going to be a cool deal. They're there together with that. Also a cool deal for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., red, white, and blue. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. always likes to wave the American flag, so it seems like a good fit for him too. And NASCAR. And at the end of the day, it's wrestling, it's beer, it's NASCAR. Those things cross over quite a bit, so it seems like a pretty successful marketing strategy for everybody involved. So should be fun to see at the racetrack, and pretty good looking car. That's not the only sponsor news. As you see here, AM/PM going to be on the side of Denny Hamlin's number 11 Toyota Camry. This via Joe Gibbs Racing. AM/PM operates more than 1,000 stores, primarily on the West Coast, serving nearly 2,200 different products. The company was founded in Southern California in 1978 and has grown to become a leading C-store, convenience store, I guess is what they mean there, across multiple states. AM/PM prides itself on introducing innovative technology to provide a faster and easier shopping experience for its customers, no matter the time of day, a meal they're looking for. This marks AM/PM's first foray into motorsports sponsorship. And from a Joe Gibbs Racing press release, and they'll be on the side of the car for more than one race. It seems to be a 2-race deal. So all the fans of the purple and orange that Denny Hamlin has run from his career with the FedEx color scheme, you will see that purple and orange back on the side of Denny Hamlin's car at least one more time this season. So always a cool deal. Not necessarily the same sponsor, but at least the same color scheme on that number 11. I know a lot of people in the Denny Hamlin fan group are super hyped to have the purple and orange back. Speaking of Denny Hamlin and Front Row Motorsports in 2311, this from Fox Sports, filed their response to NASCAR's appeal of the December injunction ruling that requires NASCAR to allow Front Row Motorsports in 2311 to race as charter teams in 2025, with each having 3 charters that includes one each of them purchased in the offseason from Stewart-Haas Racing. A hearing on the appeal is set for May 9th in the U.S. Court of Appeals in Richmond. A decision would likely come weeks later. A trial in the case is set for December 1st, so the hope is any disputes won't extend into 2026. The teams argue they deserve the injunction because they likely will win the case, that the Cup Series requires elite teams, and 2025 charter agreement doesn't provide them the economic model to be elite. The charters provide the teams with much less revenue and less favorable terms than would prevail in a market unrestrained by NASCAR's unlawful monopsony, the team's brief states. So the big takeaway from that, because pretty much it's more of the same. Obviously, they were going to dispute NASCAR's counterclaim there, but obviously the two big things, May 9th, the date where this particular part of the injunction hearing will be held, and we also have a court date finally, December 1st, will be when the actual court date for this whole trial begins. So December 1st, and they said the aim there is to get it done by 2026. So hopefully the whole month of December, all of that court stuff will be done by then. So we at least have a sort of a bow tie on it. Of course, whoever wins is probably going to appeal it, so we probably really won't be done. But we will at least have the first big leg of this done sometime, hopefully in December, before the season, or at least before February, before the season starts, I should say. Casey Mears is going to be driving for Garage 66, just 11 starts shy of 500 NASCAR Cup Series races. Casey Mears will return to action on March 30th when he takes the racetrack for the Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway. He will pilot the number 66 Hitchco Ford Mustang Dark Horse for Garage 66, a team co-owned by NASCAR mainstay Carl Long. Hitch and Go, a mobile RV repair, camper, and trailer services company with coverage in western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, and beyond, will serve as the primary sponsor of the number 66 Ford Mustang. Mosby's Towing and Transport and Coble Enterprises will ride along Mears as major associate sponsors. And he has been approved from NASCAR, even though he hasn't driven a car in the Cup Series since 2019. And the last motorsports event that I could see that he raced in was 2019 in the Super Truck Series that Robbie Gordon owned. So been kind of, I guess, as far as what I could find on the internet, out of the race car since 2019. But coming back now, great story, and has been approved by NASCAR, which... this story that won't go away, of course, harkens back to the Catherine Legg, Daniel Suarez situation, where Catherine Legg, who, totally different situation, had no experience, was also approved by NASCAR. But once again, NASCAR doesn't have a set-in-stone approval process, and at some point, it would be nice to have like some type of supercar license or supercard license, kind of like you have in F1, where you check this box, and this box, and this is when you're able to be able to race in the NASCAR Cup Series. Obviously, the Mike Wallace situation, another thing that happened this year that called that into question. So from a nuts and bolts aspect of this, it would be nice to have boxes to check off and not just NASCAR going case by case. Hey, this guy's good. Case by case, hey, this person is not good. So, all right, that wraps up that one. Casey Mears' comeback story. A little more legs than just Casey Mears coming back, interestingly enough. This is via J-Ski via NBC Sports. NASCAR announced Wednesday that it updated the one exemption provisional rule, which was used to secure a starting spot for Helio Castroneves in the Daytona 500. Teams must request provisional 90 days before an event. Now, if there are more than 40 cars, then the field will automatically expand to 41 cars, and the team requesting the provisional must use it regardless of where it qualifies. So two key points there. If the field is 40, it will automatically expand to 41. So nobody that actually qualifies in on time will be knocked out by this provisional that NASCAR has created. So that, I think, overall is a good thing. Takes a lot of pressure off of those teams that might be worried about, somebody with a big name taking their spot away after they worked hard to get into the race. And going right along with that, if you apply for it, you do have to use it regardless of where you qualify in the race, which means you still wouldn't get points, you still wouldn't get the big financial payout that you normally would if you just qualified in on time without requesting that provisional. So that is an aspect of it that probably won't get covered as much, but also equally as big. So if you apply for it, you have to use it, so it is going to financially hurt you, even though you're going to be guaranteed to be locked into the race. So you will at least have to weigh whether or not it's worth it to even apply for that particular provisional going forward. And of course, the 90 days is not anything necessarily new. The 90 days has been in there the whole time, but you do still have to apply for it 90 days in advance to get that special exemption provisional or whatever. All right, and to wrap this one up, on Labor Day weekend, Amazon, and I think Dale Jr. helped produce this one, releasing a Dale Earnhardt Sr. documentary, so it's going to be really cool. So look out for that one. Should be well received and a good deal overall. Those are always popular. Everybody wants to learn as much as they can about the Man in Black, the old number 3. So all right, that's how we're going to end this one off. Appreciate y'all hanging out. If it's your first time, would love to have your subscription. If not, I'll just keep making these things. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you all as well. And other than that, thanks for your time. Enjoy your Friday. Watch this truck race. Peace.